Past graduates of the Driver Rehabilitation Center have gone on to great things. Jody, from last year, now delivers cosmetics door to door. And since season 1, our hero Manuel has logged 15,000 kilometers without causing a single scratch. Who will be this year's success story? I don't know. I'm just hoping there is one.
The country's lousiest drivers, as nominated by you, have been battling it out for 5 episodes. When the dust settles after this show's series of 3 driving challenges, one more person will graduate. Then next episode, someone will be named Canada's worst driver.
Hey, stop it, stop it!
The final 4 nominees for the unwanted title are Shelby from Calgary.
I drive like a grandpa.
Then there's road raging Ed from Ottawa.
I don't think anyone could do it.
Next is our shameless hit-and-run artist, Jennifer.
I don't really care. That's probably what my biggest problem is.
And finally,
Ouch!
there's Jason from Vancouver.
What are your driving issues?
Everything.
Each of these bad drivers was nominated by a loved one
I really need your help here, honey. I really do.
who desperately needs them to be a safer driver.
Oh, Ed!
His issues are anger issues, which are emotional issues.
In Ontario, anyone with a standard driver's license is allowed to tow a trailer that's carrying a load no higher than 13 feet, 6 inches. The next challenge for Canada's worst drivers is to tow a trailer carrying a load that's, guess how high? 13 feet, 6 inches. This is the trailer challenge. We're gonna go at 25 kilometers an hour straight ahead, then do a hook turn, then I'll explain the rest of it. Here we go. When you're driving a trailer, it's really important that you take every turn as wide as possible.
Once drivers get around this hairpin bend, they have to make a typical right-hand turn.
The rest of the course is pretty much straightforward. At least, that's what Canada's worst drivers think.
Halfway up this tight hill, they'll be confronted by an emergency vehicle.
Any time an emergency vehicle is on a one-way street, they have the right of way.
Drivers have 2 options: reverse all the way back to the bottom of the hill, or try to parallel park their truck and trailer here. That's what I'm going to do.
To get the trailer to go to the right, you have to turn the wheel slightly to the left.
I need to go forward to get the trailer directly behind me.
There we go. Straight back, straight back. And now, I want to hook myself in standard parallel parking style. All right, EMT guy, you're clear.
When the ambulance passes, drive to the top of the hill and prepare to back your way into the final parking spot.
If you keep your wits about you, and you just inch along and you use your mirrors, you'll be done.
Running this course took me a frustrating half hour. Road raging Ed's up first.
Your mirrors are okay, Ed? You checked your mirrors?
Yeah.
Coming around the first turn, Ed doesn't go wide enough. By the way, we're not cruel. This morning, our head instructor, Scott Marshall, gave all the bad drivers an extensive lesson on handling a trailer.
And steer towards me.
Okay.
Steer towards me.
Okay.
Towards me.
Okay.
That's towards me.
At Young Drivers of Canada, Scott instructs the instructors.
Stay on our side, Jason. Thank you.
He's joined on our crack team of experts by car racer and psychologist, Dr. Luisa Gambora, high-performance driving instructor, Philippe Letourneau, and Sergeant Cam Woolley of the Ontario Provincial Police.
There's no excuses. It all falls to the driver.
A trailer doesn't follow a truck exactly. Around corners, the trailer wheels take a sharper route than the truck wheels. Therefore, wide turns are mandatory.
It's like turning anywhere else, you're just starting further away.
Okay.
When backing up, you need to steer to the left to make the trailer go to the right.
Which way are you going to steer?
To get the trailer to move that way, I'm steering this way.
See that jackknife? It's called a jackknife when you have the trailer like
Right,
this.
right.
That's what we're trying to avoid.
Oh, okay.
Trying to reposition, Ed jackknifes and runs into his own trailer.
What's it hitting? What are you hitting at? Where are
I'm
you
not hitting anything,
Oh,
Elizabeth.
okay.
Now Ed remembers his trailer will take a sharper turn than his truck.
I mean, it's just going to follow, isn't it?
No, not necessarily. I mean, it's not as... What the...
Oh.
The sound of a siren can sometimes block intelligence.
I hit the thing.
Oh, you hit a car?
Shockingly, every year in Canada, emergency vehicles are involved in 6,000 accidents.
They can't get through there. They're not Houdini. It's not a magical ambulance.
If you're not ready to deal with an ambulance, you shouldn't be on the road.
Why is it turning? It shouldn't be turning that much. Why is it swinging so much? It doesn't make sense. This is insane. This is not
I think maybe
working.
Ed is repeatedly oversteering.
It's making a jackknife, Elizabeth. Once it's jackknifed, the turning doesn't work at all.
I'm trying to be supportive.
Maybe if you went down and sat on the cone.
I hear crunching, Ed.
That's okay.
But you're not supposed to keep going when you hear crunching noises. That's what the judges have told you.
Ed thinks he's going to graduate. Not from this.
Holy crap.
That was a treat.
Getting into the final space, Ed hits to his right and to his left.
You're hitting stuff.
No, I'm not hitting stuff. Stuff is plural. I hit one thing.
Okay, that feels good.
No, it's not good.
Ed ends it by creating an absolute disaster location.
Ed, there's crunching going on.
You know what, Elizabeth? Don't worry about it.
This challenge took an hour and a quarter.
The next time I see a tractor trailer driver, I'm going to stand up and applaud because that's a very tough thing to do. I thought things were going well until the emergency vehicle wanted to get by me.
Jason is intimidated by our big cone.
What the hell is that?
That is an internationally recognized hazard symbol. Before coming to rehab, Jason told his boss he'd be back soon. And he promised Adrian's sister they'd be home for her wedding, which is the day after tomorrow.
I wouldn't be doing too much of that.
Oh, okay, that's it.
You need to graduate.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to make this wedding.
Yeah, that's right. If I don't graduate, it's possible I might lose my job and Adrian going to miss his sister's wedding. That'll be terrible.
Me there, Jason not, and my sister angry.
It's all up to my capable hand now to graduate early.
Stop. You need to parallel park it into that space. Sure. I can go past you. Oh, you're on top of the trailer again.
Mark the cone and get out of the road.
When we come back, Jason finishes up.
Oh, Jason, whoa.
And Shelby makes it to the top of the hill.
Wow, I'm impressed. We did something right.
Canada's 4 worst drivers are desperately trying to graduate from rehab. Because next episode, one of them will get hit with our embarrassing title.
If I am given Canada's worst driver title, I will be so pissed off.
I don't think I'm the worst driver here.
I really want to graduate at this point.
Jason's trying to let this ambulance get past him and his big cone. But his husband, Adrian, is confusing him with constant advice.
Turn to your left, real hard. No, your other left.
We've been asking Adrian to stop giving directions, and he is trying.
Do you want me to be helping you or no?
No, you're not helping me.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it myself.
But the longest Adrian can manage to bite his tongue
Frustrating not being able to help.
is 3.5 minutes.
Can I help you?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, back under Adrian's guidance,
Oh.
No, too close.
Oh, I didn't watch
Okay.
front.
Jason returns to hitting
How you doing on your side?
and causing jackknifes.
All that Adrian is doing is becoming more of a distraction.
Don't help me anymore.
All right.
I don't need it anymore.
All right.
12 minutes later, Adrian's grabbing the wheel.
Don't be turning anything yet.
Jason needs to know why he isn't going where he wants to go.
So, straighten your wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not straight at all.
Jason's wheels are pointing to the right.
Are they straight?
No.
Not even close.
No.
To straighten them, he turns them further to the right.
It's even worse, Jason. It's even worse.
Oh.
Steering for Jason is simply guessing.
Okay, so you straight now?
I think so. Oh, I'm overcorrecting.
As a last resort, Jason steers from outside the vehicle.
Yes, there you go.
Following my advice instead of his husband's, Jason parks in one try.
This is simple. I should have showed up here an hour ago. The person in the back of the EMT truck would be safe.
Thank you. Oh.
The pylon symbolizes a safety hazard. Jason Zhang, safety hazard.
Ooh.
Jason, look, I'm moving absolutely everything. Come on, just back it up. Straighten it up.
You'd think Jason would be done there, but
That's called a jackknife. That's just trauma. You know what, Jason? This is over.
Okay.
This is over, buddy.
All right. I'm still confused. I don't know which way I want to go. So, yeah, this is totally disaster. Sorry. Sorry.
Jason might have to miss the wedding.
I still have no smoothness.
All right. I'm going to take this beast back to the starting line. But while I do, I want you to check out the damage that Jason Zhang did to that poor pylon.
Jennifer's next.
You just make sure you turn nice and wide.
Wide means being over here.
How do I reverse?
This challenge amplifies the consequences of bad decisions.
Oh, and jackknifing.
Yeah. Jackknifing and scraping.
I would do it to my own, so it's the difference.
When the ambulance arrives,
You are kidding me, right?
Get out of the road, please.
Jennifer knows what she has to do.
I have to parallel park it. I have to.
Trying to back in, Jennifer jackknifes once, twice, 3 times. And that's the good news.
Oh, and touching it, I'm touching it.
Yeah, you're doing more than touch. Honey.
I can't see it.
It's right there. What do you mean you can't see it?
You won't help me.
Don't blame this on me. This isn't my problem. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me.
I'm trying to have you help me.
I can drive it. That's how I can help you.
Now that's something I would like to see.
So you drive it for her.
Yeah? All right.
Is he going to embarrass himself now, or does he know how to do this?
I think he might be able to do it.
Do you have trailer experience, John?
Hardly.
This is the man you look to for advice?
I have nobody else in the vehicle with me.
If Jennifer wants to graduate, she needs to get into the final parking space quickly.
All right, let's see if she can do any better than her man. Wait.
It takes Jennifer a respectable 15 minutes to get over the hill and into the final parking spot.
I think it's parked.
Looks parked to me.
That is so hard on the brain. It's really hard.
Jennifer's parents own an enormous mobile home trailer, and she wants one too.
One day. I'm only 22 now, like when I'm 35 and I can afford one.
Wow, what are you going to do for a living?
I don't know yet.
It's on Shelby's shoulders now.
We're gonna do this.
What Shelby does is get instantly stuck.
Oh, shoot.
If you want the trailer to go that way, you're turning your wheel this way.
I've jackknifed.
You're hitting your trailer again.
When Shelby's alarmed by the emergency vehicle, he becomes an emergency.
Shoot. Damn trailer does not want to listen. Oh, I hit a car. Oh my God, I'm gonna be here all day at this rate.
Then Shelby smartly becomes the first bad driver to realize that his passenger
Move up a bit so you can clear the car.
would be more help outside the vehicle.
Turn your wheel that way. Right.
With Elric's fresh perspective,
Stop. 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 I think the ambulance can get by.
Shelby's safely off the road in less than 15 minutes.
Thanks, guys.
At the top of the hill,
Take it wide, take it wide, take it wide, take it wide.
Shelby sticks with what's working.
Okay, now for this one, I think you're better off outside the vehicle.
Get in there, Shelby. Come on, 5 more feet.
I'm going to do this.
Stop. Stop.
I did it.
Based on this challenge, Shelby is the best driver in rehab.
I've learned how to make S-turns. I've learned how to back up huge vehicles. I've learned how to pull into parking spots. And I've learned to focus on driving.
After the break, our drivers feel like rats in a cage.
Whoops. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back
There's the
up.
car behind
I
me.
can see it in the mirror.
We've met a lot of controlling husbands over the years,
Get your speed up, get your speed up, get your speed up. Come on, keep your speed up.
but perhaps the worst is Adrian.
Hard.
Since arriving in rehab,
Hard.
Adrian has given his husband literally thousands of unsolicited instructions.
Hard.
If you're driving,
Hard.
it's a hard thing to deal with.
Hard. Turn hard.
What's even harder for Jason's education is that when he really screws up, Adrian praises him.
Yeah, good boy. Okay, just go forward. Yep, a bit more.
We can't. Let's the post.
That's okay, tiny bit more. Let's go, Wiggle. Stop. There. Good. Good boy, floor it. Yeah! You did well.
When it comes to driving advice, Jason doesn't get help from anyone other than his husband.
When was the last time you had a passenger that wasn't Adrian?
10 years ago.
To get to the bottom of this problem, our head instructor, Scott, is observing this couple on a special training course, starting with a controlled stop at 40 kilometers an hour. Although Jason is out of control.
Oh! You were steering into the skid, which was good.
He wasn't skidding. Slight slide.
You didn't totally spin out. You started actually steering into the skid, which is exactly the right thing to do.
Adrian's telling me he's doing a good job. Thumbs down.
On his next attempt, same thing.
How the car still skid?
You were full on the brakes, but you were steering into the skid.
If he left his wheels straight, he would have been able to stop in a straight line.
You were steering in the right direction for the skid, but you hadn't let go of it.
Adrian is giving him advice about steering into the skid. He didn't have to do that. Adrian's taken over Jason's brain now, and he's telling him everything he has to do over and over again.
When Adrian is ordered to be quiet, Jason surpasses his husband's very low expectations.
Who knew my baby could back into driveways?
He does better when Adrian is quiet. One of the best ways for you to be supportive, Adrian, is to be quiet.
I bet a lot of Canadians wish their husbands would get this speech.
You said, I'm not going to say anything. Half a second later, you're talking again. It's a habit you've developed, and it has to stop if Jason is going to improve. So my best advice to you, no more advice.
Yeah.
Taking directions poorly can leave you lost, driving around in circles, feeling kind of like a rat in a maze. The next challenge for Canada's worst drivers is to take and follow their own directions. To do that, we'll show them a map of a maze, then we'll have them drive through the maze. So to begin, if they're sensible, they'll draw the entire thing. So, checking my map while I go.
Drivers may feel boxed in.
Holy smokes.
Because once inside the maze, all they can see are walls of obstacles and their map.
Yeah, I am right here. I'm doing fine.
Sniffing out the finish takes me just over 20 minutes.
I see a big cheesy ending in my future. You stop by getting as close to the cheese as possible. Without touching it, of course.
Passing this challenge starts with making a good map.
It's not the world's prettiest map, it's not the world's prettiest drive. But it is going to help determine who is Canada's worst driver.
Ed will draw the first map.
Do you want me to draw it?
No, you're here to support,
Okay.
and you're here to do all of the tricky things.
Okay.
Elizabeth lets Ed draw for 9 whole seconds before taking over.
Do you want to do a little dotted line there? I'm not allowed to touch it.
She's telling him what to draw.
Over, up, over, up, over, up. Okay. Got an hour.
In the car,
So which way am I going?
Out through there.
Ed is relying on Elizabeth
Right?
to make every decision.
Am I allowed to hit anything? No.
No, I think the rules are the same rules of the road. Don't hit anything, Ed.
Thanks to his ex-girlfriend's directions,
There, yeah.
Ed has no trouble navigating through the maze.
And you're gonna go on the left side over there.
But his steering has left its mark.
That's not too bad, is it?
Ed comes around the final corner facing the wrong direction.
You should be finished.
There's the cheese right here.
Ed hit one thing on, well, 2 things on his drive.
No, and I'm not trying to minimize, okay? Just let me qualify that. I'm not trying to minimize, but I nudged it.
This is the difference. Like, I took 22 minutes and hit nothing, and you did it in 11 minutes and said, but great, I only hit one thing.
Run that off there.
Door, too.
Okay, yeah.
Given his competition, Ed does have a good chance at graduating.
If you do, are you guys going home together, separately? How do you go home?
Do you want to answer that?
I think we go home more of as a couple than we anticipate, I guess.
I think we'll be going home much more as a couple than we came.
When Jennifer is done drawing her map,
Let's give her.
she starts bumping into things.
There you are. You're hitting it.
Oh, I'm going to hit. What do I do?
Jennifer hits.
Oh my God.
I definitely want to watch where my head's sticking out.
Jennifer is just not getting it.
Oh.
Brutal.
That was just out of sheer stupidity.
Continuing with that theme,
You see that line right there? That's you, right there.
the worst part of Jennifer's performance is what she thinks of it.
I'd say I did it pretty well.
Jennifer can't graduate until she addresses her bigger problem of hit and runs.
I always drive away after I hit cars.
When I first met Jennifer, she told me about one hit and run she did on a guy she knew by name.
I hit the lady. I hit
Welding school.
welding
The lady.
school. I hit Norm's car.
Yes. Sorry, Norm.
I hit...
Norm is a stranger who used to live in Jennifer's building. One day, she hit his parked car hard enough to change its shape.
I had bent out the frame a bit and his front light had fallen out.
After a little detective work, we came up with Norm's number.
I'm calling Norm, whose vehicle I hit last year. I hit your car last year. The damage would have been on the front right-hand side of the car, and I just wanted to call and apologize and say that I was sorry and that I would pay for any damages that I had caused.
Hey, would you give me the cash?
Pardon?
Pardon? That's not the right answer.
What made you take so long to come clean?
I had to really go through this whole thing on the show and really learn to be accountable for my actions and to take the responsibility for it. It was hard to do.
Well, when you find doing what's right hard to do, you got a problem.
After the break, Jason and Shelby both fail to amaze. Canada's worst drivers are navigating their way through a maze, trying not to do this. Jason makes his map based on Adrian's directions.
No, we're not going to go that way.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
if you end up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I forbid Adrian from any more helping, Jason is lost.
I don't know where to go now.
Adrian watches his husband drive into a couple of objects.
I hit.
Did you?
And he tries to stay silent, but he can't resist butting in.
Which way are your wheels turned right now?
There's only one way to deal with this.
You don't have to try to stop helping, you can just stop helping.
Without Adrian's advice, Jason doesn't touch a single thing for 8 minutes. When Adrian gets involved again, he thinks we won't notice if he whispers. Shh, shh.
Do you need to turn?
Believe me, we notice.
What, Jason, are you...
Oh, sorry.
Metal on metal. Doesn't sound like wedding bells.
Does this man belong on public Canadian roads yet?
Thinking a little more training probably wouldn't be bad.
Shelby likes to over-prepare. He spends 12 minutes recreating the board in every way imaginable.
We got 3 maps, we got written instructions, and
he gets lost on the first turn.
We're coming up to a wall.
Let me see the map I drew. Here's a start.
And here's a habit Shelby can't stop.
Okay, that's 1 hit.
Here at Rehab, Shelby has gone through 21 challenges.
Shoot.
And he's had daily private lessons.
Did I touch this one?
And he's still hitting 2 things at once.
I'm thinking Shelby might get trapped with the title Canada's worst driver.
Shelby doesn't get lost again, but his hit count is painful to hear.
21. Oops. I'm thinking it's going to be a tough thing to find insurance after this. That's 23.
I'm losing count.
Shelby does manage to finish, but every time he got stuck, he continued revving the engine.
Ooh, what is that?
That's not a good-looking gremlin.
Radiator's busted.
How hot did you get it?
Back up. I kind of knew that was going to happen.
One of the instructions we give our bad motorists over and over again is to look far ahead to see if they've finally learned that lesson. The next challenge for Canada's worst drivers is to steer through this slalom course knowing that its route will indiscriminately change based on a flag that gets waved far ahead.
It's going to be a little bit tricky because they're going to have to keep their eyes on the flag and use their peripheral vision to know where the obstacles are.
Before Canada's worst drivers try this challenge,
More.
they're getting private lessons to learn why what's called hand-over-hand steering
Maintain.
is clumsy and dangerous.
Brake. At one point, you started to go hand over hand, then you were giving it way too much steering input.
The secret to surviving the slalom is hand position. Imagine the wheel as a clock. For full steering potential, you should grip the wheel at the 9 and the 3.
This way, if you want to have a full steering input, you could actually exactly go full lock on either side. 9 and 3 gives you a maximum steering input. 9 and 3, that's not 9 and 3.
In the old days, drivers were taught to put their hands at the 10 and the 2. But the lesson has changed because
the technology in the vehicle has changed a lot. In the good old days, the steering wheel were bigger, not power assisted like they are today.
There's airbag issues up here, I hate to tell you.
the issue is broken bones. Airbags do save lives, but according to Transport Canada, to avoid injury, you should sit 25 centimeters away.
The guys that drive like this, the Joe Cools with their seat back, they end up with a broken nose and a broken wrist at the same time.
That's what I was saying about adapting the driving to the technology. So when you're at 9 and 3 and the airbag explodes, your hand goes on the outside. Hands at 9 and 3, let's do this one more time. Look far.
Jennifer has good hand positioning, but she's inadvertently speeding.
Slow down.
You were at 60.
This slalom course is set up to go through at 40 kilometers an hour.
Maintain your speed.
If you hit 50, it's impossible to make the turns.
All right. Maintain, stop, accelerate, stop. Okay, accelerate, go.
Instead of looking at one distant point, Jason refocuses his eyes constantly.
Now, why do you think you hit that cone?
I did not turn fast enough, or I don't even know.
Okay, at this stage of the game, you should know why you hit that cone.
He's staring at objects. He's not staring into a space. He hasn't learned from all the time he spent here.
Eventually, all the drivers learn how to handle this course. Well, all except Shelby.
Brake.
He just can't seem to get it.
Brake.
At all. But it's time for the challenge.
Keep your eye on the flag man.
When he waves the flag, drivers are not allowed to go through the next opening. The course designer assures me this challenge is a tough one.
Get up to 40, up to 40, up to 40. I'm there. I'm looking at the flag. He's raised the flag so I don't go. Now I go. He's dropped it. Well, he lays the flag again. So that's it. Piece of cake. I don't know why they were saying that's a hard challenge. If you keep your wits about you and you look far up the road, it's easy. Now, let's see how Canada's worst drivers do.
Ed has bad peripheral vision.
You want me to watch for the flag?
Yeah.
40 kilometers an hour. Go! Steering with someone else watching is never a good idea.
Flag up. Flag up.
Flag up.
Flag up. We weren't going 40 kilometers.
Ed dropped down to 15. His second run is basically identical.
Flags up, flags up, flags up. You slowed down, though.
And Ed's third try is worse.
Flag! Flag!
I think it's when you scream flag, it freaks me out.
Then I won't.
We'll just get this woman some prosthetics while you go back to number 1. 4th time through. 5th time through. This is your 6th run. Go!
If drivers fail 7 times, they fail completely.
Trip number 7. Go!
This time, Elizabeth promises not to give Ed a hand. But Ed gets one anyway.
Oh, you lost a hand, Ed.
Okay, that wasn't very good.
After the break, Jason gets ahead.
If you're in a collision at 10 kilometers an hour, you and your passenger can still experience a deafening impact. That's because the airbag pops out faster than the speed of sound. So, remember when you're driving, don't lean forward like this. Do not ever put a hard coffee cup in front of your precious teeth. And, what's that other tip? Ah, yes. Don't hit anything.
For this 40K an hour slalom challenge, we've disabled the airbags. Jason's next. On his first try, Jason's unnerved by the flagman indicating when not to swerve.
I'm not even close.
Jason's next 3 attempts are also well below 40.
I don't think I can reach that speed.
To build Jason's confidence, we get rid of the flag altogether and ask him to do a simple slalom just like he learned in training.
Damn it.
Maybe Jason's bad driving stems from a bad memory.
But you trained for this, yeah?
No, I didn't.
Jason's been training for weeks, but it's not sinking in.
It's impossible, impossible. I can't turn that turn. I will do one more time.
Why Adrian would think this driving is good is beyond me.
My what turn is too wild.
Yeah. Jason failed to follow our advice.
I tried. I'm just like, when I try to do this one, I'm going back. Just impossible to turn back.
Shelby is not optimistic about this challenge.
Keep an eye, because I am having issues with vehicle control. So I'm going to have to get up to 40.
Okay. Coming out of the gate,
You're 35.
Shelby's hand-over-hand steering slows him down. Shelby,
You're slowing down, you're under 40.
usually remembers instructions. On Shelby's 4th try,
You're not 40 yet, you gotta speed up.
he remembers the proper grip, but he stares at the 4th obstacle.
Brake!
Shoot.
Shelby's had 2 accidents in his life. He seems destined for more.
Call 911, someone. Okay, tell me when I'm at 40.
Yeah, 40. You're 40. You're 50.
You have a long way to go.
But I don't think we're going home tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
This is Shelby's last chance.
Yeah, 40. You're at 50.
Oh, shoot.
Shelby's driving. Still has a long way to go.
I'm going to have to stay more focused. I'm going to have to hit the brakes quicker. And I'm going to have to pay more attention.
Jennifer is last to run this course.
You ready?
Ready as I'm gonna be.
Remember, if the flag waves, Jennifer is not supposed to swerve.
Oh.
At least her steering was safe. The steering on her 3rd attempt, not so safe.
I have no idea what happened. I can't explain it.
She also can't explain this one. That's a problem, because we have no more replacement obstacles. So, Jennifer piles the pieces back into a heap.
Where does it go? Here?
Then she runs into the heap. Jennifer's down to her last chance.
That one is really, really tough.
Come on, Jay. You can do this.
I know I can.
Jennifer makes it up to 40 and manages to keep it.
You didn't want me to go around that one.
That's right.
On the last possible chance, we get our first success.
It's really hard on the brain.
There's just one graduation ceremony left before we name Canada's worst driver.
If I was the worst driver? Oh, boy.
These 4 people are all desperate to graduate from our rehab center so they can avoid being in our final episode, where one of them will be named Canada's worst driver.
Shelby, are you the most improved person here?
I think so.
I think I deserve to graduate, yeah.
I'm just happy to say, I'm standing here as totally new Jason. All of a sudden, I feel like I see the light.
Jason is laying it on thick.
Is this a speech you've rehearsed to get to the wedding?
No, definitely no.
Oh, Jason, whoa.
In today's episode alone, Jason needed help to park the trailer. He had 12 hits on the maze, and he went 0 for 7 on the slalom.
Yes, I know.
Jennifer claims to be suddenly responsible, but she doesn't even know what a hit and run is.
If there is another infraction with the vehicle, I will more than willingly leave my license plate or insurance information anywhere around.
Yeah, leaving your information on the windshield is still a crime. You gotta stay there.
Oh,
If you leave the scene of a collision, it's actually a criminal offense.
okay. I did not know that.
Ed's improved his driving and his relationship.
I was always nervous with Elizabeth in the car. Likewise, Elizabeth was nervous with me. I was nervous with her because she was nervous with me. I don't feel that as much anymore.
Does he graduate tonight?
Does he deserve to?
I think so, yes.
4 drivers left. Only one of them can graduate, which means 3 of them are going to be in the finals for Canada's worst driver. It's either going to be Jason Zhang, Jennifer, Ed, or Shelby. Camille, who's it going to be?
I think Shelby tanked. He was doing really, really well, and he just tanked, and same with Jason.
Scott, do they have any point in being in this discussion, Shelby and Jason?
They're my bottom 2.
Gone. This is a 2-horse race, hey?
Yep.
Jennifer, Ed. Who's it going to be, Dr. Gambora?
I think Ed is more improved. He's made a change in attitude.
I've seen him improve leaps and bounds in attitude, and I've still seen him be a stinky bad driver.
If I got to give it an edge, I'm going to give it to Jen.
I saw her extremely anxious and frustrated and flustered at times.
And there's also no consensus about whether dealing with one hit and run will make Jennifer a better driver.
I think that owning up to the hit and run does make her a better driver. I believe her when she said that she's not going to do that kind of thing again.
It's time to vote for who will graduate.
Ed.
Dr. Gambora?
Ed.
Jen.
I'm a Jen, which means you haven't cast a vote, so let's put it all on you, Philippe. Okay? You ready for some pressure yourself? Ready for some anxiety? You get the final call. There we go. Really?
Yeah.
That quick?
Yeah.
Aw, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta live with it. The 3 motorists who don't graduate tonight will go head to head to head in our final episode, where someone will be named Canada's worst driver. This is a huge decision for us. Ed, some of the experts think you should be the next graduate. Jennifer, some of the experts think you should get your license back. Jason, all of the experts think you should go to your sister-in-law's wedding. You're not going to, because you just haven't improved enough. So, tonight's graduate is... you, Ed. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
We're done.
Way to go. Congratulations. Good job.
Congratulations to you too, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
When road raging Ed came to rehab,
I was probably the most skeptical, reluctant to want to even come on the show.
he did it to try and win back his girlfriend, Elizabeth.
When we're arguing about driving every single day of our lives.
Every day, you guys, hey? That's true,
Every
hey?
day.
That every day you guys argue about driving.
Every day.
While here, Ed got counseling for his driving.
Look this way, down, back on the power.
And his relationship.
If Elizabeth's going to feel more comfortable in the car with me, then I guess I want to change.
It worked.
We've accomplished something within our relationship that we've never accomplished before.
So some of the habits that I guess I really didn't realize were bad habits, I do now.
Ed's old habits included throwing elbows, flipping fingers, and intentionally running over things.
Okay, I'll be quick and I'll hit everything that's there.
Ed's gone from full denial
I think I am a fairly good driver.
to admitting the truth.
I don't think I'm a good driver.
That realization has made Ed's road rage evaporate.
Isn't that just exhilarating? No matter what happens from here on in, I never regret this at all. Never.
Ed from Ottawa is not Canada's worst driver.
At the end of our next episode, we'll put these 3 people to the test to see if they should even have a driver's license. Then, one of them will be named Canada's worst driver.
It's a
In the final episode of Canada's Worst Driver, we start by seeing if the nominees can drive in a straight line. Then they must endure the largest mega challenge we've ever created. And then I put it all on the line.
Now you're on Highway 400, one of the deadliest highways in the country, and you're stopped. This is no way to drive.
I offer up my personal vehicle for the ultimate road test.
There's pedestrians!
It's going to be a tough thing to find insurance after this.